Hi, I'm Dr. Rahman, and welcome to a refinement of the podcast that I am producing. The podcast is called Black Women's Health, but that's a really broad topic. And so I've divided it into segments. On a regular basis, you'll hear me talking about Black women and pregnancy because I am committed to working towards helping to eliminate the health racial disparity in this country. So that series, 40-week series, is called 40 Weeks. The second, which is what I'm doing today, is really geared to non-pregnant Black female and issues that we may encounter and suggestions about how best to navigate the healthcare system, because everyone at this point is willing to say that there is systemic racism within the healthcare system. Many people acknowledge that, but how do you deal with it? How do you recognize it? What do you do about it? And so in incorporating the discussion about medical problems, really basic medical issues that many of us will deal with, want to talk about how best to navigate. Again, I tell everyone that in this series, I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for you. I'm looking forward to your responses and your questions and how better to address or another topic to suggest. And so we have 40 weeks, which deals with pregnancy. We have Today's Woman, which deals with the issues that a non-pregnant female may encounter. And then we have the interview series, which I particularly enjoy because I get a chance to talk with and highlight efforts and work of other Black women who may or may not be getting the recognition that they deserve. So this is evolving. I look forward to the process and I look forward to hearing from you. So what we're going to be talking about is anemia, sometimes called low blood. And how do you know if you're anemic? Well, today, most of us have an app on our phone that's given to us by our primary care doctor, and the labs will be published in your app so that you can go to your app and you can see your lab results. And one of the results that a test that often get done is called a CBC, complete blood count, CBC test. And when you see the results, usually the format is you'll see your result, the number that your result generated, and then you'll see ranges. And usually the normal range will be identified. And you want to know, do you fall outside of the normal range? And that's the easiest way to interpret these results. Are you in the normal range? If your results are in the normal range, that's good. If your results are not in the normal range, that's when you need a conversation. You need a conversation with your primary care doctor or whomever, the person that ordered the test. They ordered the test for a reason. And now we see that your test results are not in the normal range. And now it's time for an explanation. Now, low blood or anemia can present in several ways: feeling fatigue, getting short of breath. And there are a multitude of symptoms, and sometimes we will ignore the symptoms, just saying that we're not getting enough sleep, or we've been busy at work, or our kids keep us preoccupied, and all of that may be true. But we also need to look at it as a possible symptom of low blood. So you have the anemia, and the two causes, basically, to make this really easy to understand, is either you're losing blood faster than you're making it. That's one way that a woman or a person could have low blood. And right now, and I'm speaking specifically about women, but this really applies to men and women. So either low blood is because you're not producing as much as you should, or the other reason is you're not making it as fast as you should or as much as you should. Those really are the two possibilities. And this is the first caveat. If your health professional doesn't want to do a diagnostic evaluation to figure out the reason you have low blood, that may be a red flag. That may be indication that you need to go to another healthcare provider. You need to advocate for yourself. Your health is priceless. You need someone who will investigate, why are you anemic? And it's not just a simple matter, let me prescribe an iron supplement. Iron supplement may or may not help, but we want to know why. Why do we need the iron supplement? And basically, why are we anemic? For women, quite often, the result of low blood is the result of losing blood too much or too fast. And that's usually a result of her having heavy menstrual cycles. Now, that's not the only possibility, but in an otherwise healthy female, no other medical issues, if she has low blood, we need to evaluate the possibility that she has very heavy periods. And briefly, a heavy period means you're bleeding for more than 7 days. You need to double up and wear a pad and a tampon and do all sorts of things to keep from having accidents. Or you need to change every hour on those heavy days. If that describes something you may be experiencing, that needs to be evaluated. So again, look at your app results, see if you fall outside the normal range. If your range is in the range of someone that has low blood, you need to go to your provider to figure out the reason. With women, quite often, it's a heavy menstrual cycle. And again, even if that's the reason, we want to know, why is her menstrual cycle heavy? Does she have a bleeding disorder? Is it because of fibroids? Is there some other reason? Is there yet another reason? Or is it a combination of all three? And so that's when you need to discuss with your healthcare professional how best to proceed. This is very basic, very simple, but very important because it is so common and it can make a difference in how you feel and how you're able to maneuver through your day-to-day. So this is Dr. Rahman, and this was a brief and beginning segment of Today's Woman, where we discuss common issues, questions that you may not have felt comfortable discussing with your healthcare professional, or he or she didn't have time to go into depth about it. Send me your questions. We'll talk about it. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned.